Bruce Wayne, he's got all his cameras everywhere around the Batcave, and he sees, like, Robin, like, furiously working out and, like, doing acrobatic stuff because he's, like, not getting attention from my dad.
I gotta punch a wall.
And then Bruce Wayne calls him out to, like, a basketball court in the backyard and is like, let's go for a game. And they're like, ha, ha, ha.
And then High School Musical plays.
Hello, team. My name is Jino, and I'm here to give you your next mission, which is this podcast covering Young Justice.
Ooh, I'll be Kid Flash because I have red hair. Inappropriate flirting with my female team members.
Michael, I don't think you want to be Kid Flash.
Oh, I know. I'm aware.
And who are you, Victoria?
Which character am I closest in personality or appearance to? I don't know.
Aqualad.
Aqualad is my favorite character. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm Sphere.
Wait, actually, I do love Sphere.
Yeah, we're covering Young Justice, which is the very, very good and twice canceled DC animated series about DC Universe, Superman, Batman, Green Arrow. That's his name.
Yeah, okay.
Green Arrow, Green Lantern, a lot of greens. It's
a
about
lot of colors and objects in their
Red
names.
Tornado, Black Canary, Green
also
Lantern,
a lot
1,
of
2, and 3.
concepts for character names, like Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Because he has a PhD and he studied hard for that, and you will not disrespect his work.
I'm sorry, Dr. Fate. But they do just refer to him as Fate sometimes.
It's true. I don't know where the
also,
comes from.
Like how they refer to Batman sometimes as just the Bat.
That's true.
That's always sounded silly as heck to me.
There's like that one villain. What was his name? The guy who like referred to himself in like the third person.
Oh, Harm.
Harm.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So,
All
Young
right.
Justice is a show about the sidekicks of your standard DC Universe Justice League roster coming together to form a special ops team that does the missions that the Justice League cannot do.
This is like catnip YA TV material.
Yes. And it's excellent. I think it's excellent.
I think it's also excellent.
I think it has 2 seasons of really tight, really great writing, and then they canceled it. And then a long time later, they brought it back for another season of show. And then and then there was another period of time, and then they brought it back for a 4th season, which I haven't seen. So we'll just be talking about the first season because there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll try not to spoil too much about seasons 2. And I can't spoil much about seasons 3 and 4.
Even if you wanted to.
Exactly. Michael.
Yeah.
What do you think?
When did the show first come out?
2010.
2010. Okay, yeah. So I was like a sophomore in high school. And I was still receiving and playing with Star Wars action figures in high school.
Hell yeah.
I was absolutely into this show. Just because, like, in terms of, like, options for things to watch, it's like I discovered anime in middle school, and that was cool. And then it was like, this was closer to that than I guess a lot of other sort of shows had been, where it's like, oh, you're teenage superhero characters going on these, as Gino mentioned, special ops missions for the Justice League. And it's kind of geopolitical. And there's, like, drama, but it's also very clever. Because seriously, I mean, as I was rewatching this, for the first like handful of episodes, and especially for the majority of the pilot episode, I was like, this is all right, it's fine, it's good. And then I started to see how all of these different plot threads were getting strung together, and I was like, oh, this is actually quite clever. And what really cemented it for me was episode. It's the one where they're in a simulation.
Yes.
That one.
That one's good.
I locked in at that one too.
Yeah. And in like the immediate aftermath of it at the start of the episode following. Because broad strokes, the first like fourth of this show is you have these sidekick characters. You got Robin. You got Kid Flash.
Yes.
You have Aqualad. And then you think you're going to have Speedy, who's Green Arrow's apprentice, but Speedy gets super miffed that they're not considered full-fledged members of the Justice League when they're sort of inducted into seeing what the Hall of Justice looks like.
He wants to be treated like an adult,
Yes.
but he's being treated like a kid because he is
Yeah.
for a little bit, and then he turns 18, and then he's not. But the rest of the Young Justice team are kids, and so they're fine with being treated like kids to a certain extent because like they understand the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Other team members we get a little after like the first episode or two. McGann, also known as Megan, who is Martian Manhunter's sidekick. She is a Martian.
Then we gain Artemis.
We gain Artemis, who becomes Green Arrow's sort of sudden new sidekick
Yeah.
apprentice. And there's very heavily foreshadowed stuff with her going on where it's like she says she's just like his like niece or whatever, but there's clearly more to this and questions about like her loyalty and everything. Oh, how could I forget?
Superboy.
Superboy.
Yeah.
The whole first episode's plot involves our superheroes just kind of like taking the initiative and responding to like a fire at a lab downtown while the rest of the Justice League is dealing with all of these ice-themed villains.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out by responding to that fire, they uncover this huge secret lab beneath the earth, and as a part of it, uncover not only these weird genetically modified life forms, but they uncover a clone of Superman, a teenage clone of Superman who is Superboy. And Superboy is initially violent.
A lot of his lines are,
Yeah.
I mean, it's because his first impression of the world is not peaceful.
yeah, he
Yeah.
is like 1 year old.
Yeah.
He was like kept in a tube and like fed information psychically. And then he was suddenly woken up and he's like, I have consciousness. I exist.
Yeah.
I'm primed to punch.
Yeah. There's two more.
There's two more. There's, I always get these confused. Zatanna, who is
I'm gonna look this up now.
Zatara's sidekick.
Now I'm getting scared.
And she's...
Oh, yes. Zatara is the dad,
Yeah.
and Zatanna is his daughter.
I was right.
And she's a magician.
Never doubt me.
She does
Sorry,
magic.
it's just I was confused.
There's
for
a
the
lot
rest
of
of
names.
the show.
There's a lot of names.
And not like
You know what's
fantasy
really
magic.
helpful is anytime a new character enters their like secret hideout, the computer reads their name.
It is very helpful.
Yeah.
It's really good. And there's one more. She comes in at the very
There's
end.
a new character at the very, very end.
Oh, wait. Oh, I gotta cycle through the episodes in my brain.
NASA, moon landing, up in the air, like a plane, but more.
Amelia Earhart? No.
Rocket.
Raccoon?
No, her
I'm
name's
joking.
Just Rocket.
Rocket. Why can't I remember her at all?
Because she's in like 2 episodes.
Oh, I guess so.
She's in
Oh, Rocket!
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She's in 2 episodes, and you don't really get to see her do a whole lot. So, like, I'm not super familiar with what her movesets are besides, like, force fields.
Yeah.
She's kind of...
Kinetic.
Okay.
So she can fly. She like fires kinetic energy, and then she can make kinetic shields,
Yeah.
which get stronger the more
Ah.
someone punches them.
That's cool.
Which is really efficient in a world of people who punch real hard.
Yeah.
She's got a lot going on. Her power set, from what I remember, I'm like, this is super, like, this is a powerhouse character.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you have poor Artemis, who's got the arrows, and nothing else.
We'll get into it, but I really love how they explore the discrepancy between power sets,
Yeah.
especially the episode where it's just Artemis and Robin, the 2 non-powered heroes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to stop the automatons. But before we get into that, Victoria, this is your
Hello.
first time watching Young Justice.
This is my first time watching Young Justice.
Did you like it?
I liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as I liked Teen Titans, though. But I think that it's because I had more of an emotional attachment to the Teen Titans characters.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's fun because I watched this after seeing the recent Superman movie, which kind of like rekindled my interest in the DC universe a little bit and just in like superheroes in general. This show felt a lot like X-Men Evolution to me, so I was super down for that. X-Men Evolution is about the X-Men, but it's like them when they were like teenagers, so it's like partially like doing superhero things but partially teen drama, which is just so fun. This show, I think it's funny that it came out in 2010 because next week we're going to be talking about a book where we discuss common 2010 tropes, and they definitely happen in this series too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're a little cringy sometimes,
Yeah.
and I have no defense.
I want to watch more because I feel like once I got really into it, it was like the season was half over.
Oh, season 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm like
season 2.
invested.
Season 2, I of course remember very little overall. I do remember how it ends, and I remember being like,
Ooh.
"What the heck?"
If I can give you a major plot point, hey, if you haven't watched Young Justice, we're gonna spoil a whole bunch. So
Yeah.
just buckle up.
I don't mind spoilers for Young Justice because half the time I would like Wikipedia some of the characters I love looking up superheroes and like reading about their backstory. So like I spoiled like Artemis's backstory for myself like very early on because I was just curious about her character.
But honestly, spoiling Artemis's backstory, because like rewatching it this most recent time, I knew everything.
Yeah.
I don't think takes away from the tension.
Yeah.
Because now you
it's
know
more
everything
about,
and you're like,
everyone
oh, no.
is gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But if I can pitch you season 2,
Okay.
several prominent members of Young Justice truly flip sides.
Whoa.
And so the team splinters in a way. Like a lot of Young Justice season 1 is like, oh, who's the mole?
Yeah.
Will they betray the team? Season 2 is like, they have already betrayed the team and they are actively
Ooh.
fighting now.
But the friendship.
Exactly. The drama.
The time skip.
The time skip.
Ooh, okay. I'm excited. I will definitely keep watching this show because
Yeah.
now I'm invested.
Also, the roster gets really big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will admit, like, for me, because I just don't have as much knowledge about DC characters, the amount of characters and especially villains that pop up was really overwhelming. Because I honestly, like, I know, like, the biggest plot of, like, which villains are working together, like, which villains are involved in what plot is, like, important, but I honestly just couldn't track it. I couldn't even remember, like, who's who. Like, I knew, like, the most frequently occurring names, which was, like, Sportsmaster, which I think is kind of a funny name.
He's goofy.
Well, it doesn't help that he's like, I'm a sportsmaster. I got a hockey mask
Yeah.
and my favorite pair of cargo pants and this muscle tee.
Yeah. And then, like, Cheshire. And honestly, aside from that, I was just like, yes. I mean, like, you have, like, the iconic DC villains, like, the Riddler shows up and, like, Joker and, like, whatever. But, like, aside from that, all the villains kind of just, like, I was like, cool, that villain's doing stuff now.
The
Don't
Joker
really know
in
what's
perhaps
going on.
his least threatening role ever.
Yeah.
I control spooky plants. I agree. When I first watched this series as a kid, teenager, I barely had any knowledge of the DC universe, so it definitely was really overwhelming.
Yeah.
Now coming back to it, I can see that the show was made with this sort of like, you need a general knowledge of the DC universe to like enjoy all the little cameos that pop up.
Yeah.
That being said, I still enjoyed it. I would say this show is my first foray into the DC universe. And in some ways, my last foray into the DC universe. I'm not super DC universe knowledgeable. So if I make lots of mistakes, oops, sorry. I can attempt a summary in the loosest terms, and then we can maybe dive into some episodes that you guys find interesting.
Yeah.
Again, heavy spoilers. The sidekicks of major DC heroes gather together in a special ops team that they kind of found. They create the team against the rules, and Batman's like, great job. I love breaking rules. Don't break rules. He's Batman. And so they sort of gain members. They do a shocking number of geopolitical assignments involving
I was like,
politicians.
sometimes unsanctioned.
And it's unsanctioned.
Pretty much always unsanctioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's like Batman's like, go do this side task slightly related to this geopolitical conflict. And they're like, but what if we got really involved in the main conflict instead?
It becomes kind of funny to me at a certain point where it's like, they're a part of the Justice League or whatever, but they're based in America. They're kind of like, to a certain degree, ideologically, like an extension of American foreign policy, like conceptually.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the episode we get early on where it's like, we need you to conduct, a geopolitically like sensitive incursion into like a despotic country. What's the country? Some sort of made up thing. We're calling it a rogue nation, and it's just sort of somewhere in Eurafrica, Asia.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of there, and there's really nothing there. It's just desert. But they have the most insane military technology you've ever seen. And you're going to be on your toes, and you're going to be going in stealth.
It is funny. They do rename. Sometimes it's like, yeah, like you said, like a fusion of like, they're in a part of the world. But sometimes it's, and this is North and South Korea.
Yeah.
And when they speak, quote, Korean, unquote.
Yeah.
It's like someone who's heard Korean a few times is like, and kind of gets the pronunciation, but like none of the words is like, I'm giving my best shot. I thought that was really funny. Being Korean. I went into the episode like, oh no. But like half of it, I was like, this is kind of fun. The fun thing about Young Justice, especially for its time, it's very, very, is serialized the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, the episodes are interconnected. And so major story beats including there's a mole on the team. Who's the mole? We don't know. Everyone gets cleared and then uncleared rapidly in succession. Superboy is a clone. There's a lot of cloning happening. Who's cloning and why?
Happening.
And there's the Injustice League, which serves the light. What does that mean? We don't find out. But all the bad guys are working together. All the bad guys are working together. And they have some master plans, some of which get foiled, but they always do the thing where, like, it was foiled.
That was the decoy plan for our real plan.
All according to our master schematic.
Yeah.
That can get tiresome, but I was intrigued by it consistently because every time there was a reason where it wasn't the same thing every time where it's like,
Yeah, I like
they
the one
fell
where
for the
it's-
decoy plan. It's
Yeah.
more like, oh, they figured out what we were doing. Good thing that the thing that they foiled was actually just the aftermath of the plan that we really cared about.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't the same beat every
Or
time.
there was the one where they were like, we are actually glad that they confronted us over here because that was the distraction we needed to steal this other important thing.
Yeah. And sometimes they just win.
Yeah.
And the Justice League, or the Young Justice loses like 2 or 3 times, just straight up loses.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see.
And it's all ultimately, like if you're paying attention, it is all ultimately a setup for the season finale where their master plan like comes together.
And I almost get it.
They almost get it.
But good old Red Tornado. So that's like the major plot line. Sub the Injustice League and the Light is Speedy. Speedy comes off as like your sort of like typical angry like young man. I don't play by the rules. I don't listen to you, Dad. Like that kind of thing.
I have a bow and arrow.
I have a bow and arrow and I'm mad about it. But he's like that because he's a clone, a lot of cloning happening. And we sort of get hints of this, very, very loose hints of this throughout the episodes until it's revealed that he is the mole, which is funny because he was so angry about there being a mole.
Yeah.
And he's mad because he is programmed to get into the Justice League as fast as possible. Any deviation from that route makes him angry.
It was brilliant because so when I started watching Young Justice, I started making comparisons of the characters to like other characters in media. And I was like, Speedy, who later renames himself Red Arrow, is like kind of the Sasuke.
Yeah.
Where he's basically like, these people are holding me back. I'm going to go do my own thing. Goodbye. And then he comes back like a couple times to like help Young Justice on certain missions and stuff, but he's always just kind of like, I'm not one of you guys. And it felt very Sasuke to me.
Yeah. And then towards the end, he's like, you know what? Maybe we're friends.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
When you first meet this character, you're kind of like, okay, like you are a little bit over the top in terms of like how upset you are about not getting into the Justice League. Kid Flash and Robin are also kind of upset, but they understand. But I was just like, sure, like that's part of his character. Like I went in knowing nothing about Speedy or Red Arrow. So I was like, that's just his personality.
Did
And
the
then I
reveal
found out-
work for you?
Yeah, it worked. Well, by the end, I was kind of like, it's not anyone on the team because everyone has like enough of a red herring that I'm like, it's not going to be one of you guys. I kept thinking it was one of the adults, actually, because for most of this season, there's always like one Justice League member who's in charge of babysitting for the week.
Yeah.
So it's usually like Black Canary or Red Tornado are their main like babysitters, but they also help train them and send them on missions and stuff. But I was like, maybe it's one of them because like the main team is mostly cleared. And then because like Red Arrow kind of just pops in and out, I didn't know if he like knew enough information to like pass along that information, you know? But I still was like, I kind of don't, if there's anyone that I could have picked out as not trusting, it was probably still Red Arrow. Just because I was like, you're angry.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doth protest too much.
Yeah. But it still worked for me. Like I was still like, okay, it made sense that he wasn't aware that he was betraying them. Because if it was like I've been secretly tricking you this whole time. I think I would have believed that less. But instead it was like, oh, he was programmed to do a specific task, and then they had like a switch for his brain where they could like say a code word and he would like go into sleeper mode and he would just feed them information. And I was like, that makes sense.
Properly devastated to learn his purpose.
Yeah.
And I do like how they set up the sleeper code too with Superboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really should have picked up on it with like the frequent cloning. I should have been like, oh, the mole is probably someone who's been cloned, because I was like, none of them would do it. And I was like, oh, it's a clone. Yeah. Okay.
So that's the general like overarching plot of the first season. And of course, every hero has their own intricate plot line. And also Sphere is there in possibly the weirdest episode of the whole season.
Yeah.
With the future people, is that what they're called?
The Forever
people. And they're dressed like that. And oh boy, do they want something.
Yeah.
And Sphere,
I could have sworn when Sphere showed up, it makes like a boing boing kind of like
like Magic School Bus.
well, like, you know, a synthetic honk.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I thought I remembered Superboy hanging out with like Crypto the Super Dog.
Mm.
And for a while, I was like, oh, that Sphere's gonna open up and Crypto's gonna jump out. There's gonna be a dog. Like right now, there's just a dog in there running on like a dog hamster wheel, moving the Sphere around, and that Sphere's gonna open up and
instead
a dog's
he
gonna
gets
jump
a
out.
sick motorcycle.
Yeah, the Sphere opens up and I'm like, oh, here's the dog, and it just turns into like a Hasbro toy.
He already
Like
has a dog. He already has Wolf.
Oh, that's true.
I
yeah.
actually thought in the episode where the automatons show up, I thought the reveal was that they popped out a Sphere.
Oh.
Because like they were like watching the security footage, and I was like, oh, like probably like in the middle of the Sphere, like these two guys came out. And that wasn't the case at all. No, Sphere is just a sphere, and I love it, and I love.
She's my pet, but also my bike.
Yeah, but I just love. Okay, Superboy's really funny to me. Superboy's the Ushiwaka of the Justice.
Absolutely. I remember being a teenager, and I did not like Superboy. I'm like, this guy's way too angsty and like punchy and mean. But as an adult, I'm like, I understand his character a lot more.
Yeah.
Just given
he's
1
year old.
Yeah.
He's having a bad day every day.
Yeah. I just love how he's like, here's this wolf I found. I'm going to name it Wolf. Here's this sphere I found. I'm going to name it Sphere. I love it so much.
And he does like mature and like progress, I think, faster than a lot of other characters.
But he does sometimes just watch static on TV. Much like Ushiwaka reading the ads in manga.
What other comparisons do you have, Victoria?
Oh, let me look.
I'm really like amped for these. I just want to be clear. I'm like waiting with bated breath.
Okay, I didn't write this down actually, but McGann is very Jean Grey coded to me.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At first it was like,
From
okay,
X-Men,
like,
right?
Huh?
X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first it was just like her like initial like romance with Superboy felt similar to Jean Grey and Scott Summers in X-Men. Scott is nothing like Superboy, so it's not because of like the one-to-one personality, but it was just like, oh, like this is like the like main couple of the series, and they get together very early on and they're like going strong, you know. Although I developed a lot of affection for their relationship like over the course of the season. And then after like the simulation episode 16, when it's like, oh, she's much more powerful than we think, I was like, oh, like, is this gonna be like a Jean Grey like Phoenix thing? I don't know anything about what happens, but it's always fun to have like telekinetic character that is really powerful and has the potential to cause danger to the team or whatnot is interesting. Those were like the main like character comparisons I made. Yeah, it was just mainly I was laughing about Superboy being Ushiwaka and Speedy being Sasuke.
You've definitely nailed aspects of her season 2 character.
Okay, sweet.
You can anticipate character
My
arcs.
knowledge of superheroes over the years, there are definitely like a lot of common superhero tropes in Young Justice, but that's just like every superhero show. I was also like really into Young Avengers for a little bit. Which is not a show, but like I would just read stuff about them. But I think like Young Avengers was like different for me because it's like I already like had a lot of knowledge about like the Avengers.
Mm.
So then it's like getting to know the young Avengers was more interesting in terms of like, oh, like how are you Scarlet Witch but different? So with Young Justice, it was like instead of comparing them to their what's the opposite of sidekick? Like their mentors.
Okay.
Instead of comparing them to their mentors, I was more comparing them like to other characters in other shows. Yeah, because I don't know anything about Martian Manhunter. So for Miss Martian, I was just like, yep, you've got telekinesis. You've got a secret past that you don't want to talk about. Probably going to have to unpack that in later seasons. That's definitely going to come up. So
Drama.
yeah.
I have a question for Jino.
Oh.
Because I think you'd probably know out of all of us here. Why is he called Martian Manhunter? I mean, it's a cool name, don't get me wrong.
I don't know.
I mean, because when I first heard Martian Manhunter, I'm like, oh, he's hunting man? The most dangerous game? But I'm like, that sounds like perhaps a villain. And he's like, no, I'm on the Justice League. Martian Manhunter. Also, for the longest time, I was like, this guy's invincible. He can just like phase through whatever, and he's got telekinesis and telepathy. He's incredible. And then you realize like all it takes is like a nearby fire, and he's like, oh, my powers.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it's
My
like...
kryptonite is a Bic lighter.
Now that I think about it, I think DC tends to have more like key weaknesses for its heroes than Marvel does.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because, like, for DC in particular, like, the movesets are so crazy that they have to have, like, some way of bringing them down. Otherwise, it's like... But I did really like how in the... What was it? The Parasite episode? Where they joined the circus. And then they fight the guy that can, like, absorb people's abilities.
I think his name is just Absorbing Man or something.
Absorption Man?
Well, like, Robin calls him a parasite.
Oh, it's Parasite.
Yeah.
I think his name is Parasite.
So I think his name is Parasite. But I thought it was really cool that they used Miss Martian's weakness against him.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, you absorbed all our abilities, but... Because I was also thinking, I was like, man, if only they just, like, had kryptonite lying around. They could just, like, shove at him. And then I was like, oh, of course, like, he also absorbed Miss Martian's powers, so fire would also weaken him. So I thought that was cool.
I have a solution to your query.
Oh.
Manhunter is an old slang term for a detective.
Oh.
He's not hunting men. He is a manhunter. He's a
Okay.
detective, Martian detective.
Ah, that's cool.
Manhunter does have a better ring to it.
It does. So his like original comic run, he was more of like a detective character like Batman.
Interesting.
And then they just kept
Nice.
giving him powers. And then they sort of turned into a Superman.
Wow.
Nice.
And now he's just really chill.
Yeah.
I do like his vibe.
And his name's John.
He's a cool uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot
He's
of
very protective of McGann.
Yeah. A lot of this show is about it's coming of age, teenagers running around doing their own thing, but
Yeah.
also there's a lot of emphasis on the sidekick mentor relationship and also
And
like
family.
yeah, like the kid parent relationship or like a greater family relationship. So like found families, but also like biological or like surprise clone son relationships.
Yeah, there's definitely like a tension between like not only like do the sidekicks not want to always be in the shadow of their mentor or be like defined by everything their mentor does or did, but also there's like the parent aspect. For Superboy, it's like he's like, I guess Superman is my dad, one of my dads, but he's like lacking some of the abilities that Superman has, so then he feels like he can't really match up, and also Superman doesn't really have a relationship with him because he's like, you're a clone of me, that's weird. And so Superboy struggles with that for most of season 1. And then there's also Artemis, who she's not Green Arrow's niece. She's actually the daughter of Sportsmaster and Huntress.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom was arrested and put in jail for a while. And so her sister, who is Cheshire, ran away because she didn't want to be at home with just their dad. And then I think she was just like doing her own thing. And then she rescues Kid Flash that one time. And so then Batman and Green Arrow basically like show up and they're like, hey, so we know that you have abilities and we don't want you to do them unsanctioned. So why don't you join Young Justice? And so they're basically like giving her a chance to do good, but she's like hiding. She's worried that the team will mistrust her knowing that her dad is Sportsmaster. So that's the tension for most of the season.
Yeah. Added baggage of the fact that they already had an Archer.
Yeah.
He got real mad and left.
Yeah, so then it's like, just because your parent did bad doesn't mean that you have to do bad, etc.
Yeah.
We also get glimpses of a positive dynamic between Robin and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
There's like a very small plot beat where Robin's feeling kind of neglected because Batman's spending like an extra amount of time like trying to help Superboy with his angst because Superman's like, I don't want to talk to this guy.
Batman's basically telling Superman, you gotta be a father. And Superman's like, I don't wanna.
That scene is so funny because they're both fully costumed in a diner.
Yeah.
Just a burger and fries. But then Bruce Wayne, you know, he's got all his cameras everywhere around the Batcave, and he sees like Robin like furiously working out and like doing acrobatic stuff because he's like, I'm not getting attention from my dad.
I gotta punch a wall.
And then Bruce Wayne calls him out to like a basketball court in the backyard and is like, let's go for a game. And they're like, ha ha ha.
And then High School Musical plays.
And then that's the first scene of High School Musical.
Yeah. And Robin is Troy Bolton, and he wants to do everything. He wants to play basketball and be in theater and be Robin.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, okay, can we talk about Robin for a second? Because Robin and Young Justice kind of like threw me for a loop at first.
Because Young Justice Robin is so different from Teen Titans Robin.
I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Teen Titans, so it's like my impression from the episodes we watched is like Robin's like a very capable leader. He has his like goofy moments, of course, but in Young Justice, he's just so much more goofy. Like his catchphrase is, let's all feel whelmed.
Yeah, they have this thing in the writing where Robin will take words.
Robin is obsessed with compound words.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was a big part of my personality. I took that from Robin and I was like, this is mine now. And it's kind of followed me.
When it first happened in episode 1, I thought it was going to be a bit just for that episode. And I was so happy that it continues. And it's just like a part of his personality. Because he's just like, everyone's just either overwhelmed or underwhelmed. Why aren't they ever just whelmed? And I was like, how have I never heard this quote before? This should be quoted everywhere on the internet. This is so funny.
It's worthy of Tumblr, for sure.
But also, like, anytime he, like, disappears into stealth mode, there's, like, a laugh.
Yeah.
The Robin laugh.
The Robin laugh. I was like, okay, that's a little silly. Overall, like, I thought Robin, it's not like he's, like, so different from, like, Teen Titans Robin, but I did find it interesting that his character in season 1 is that he wants to be a leader. Everyone knows that he has the potential to be a leader, but he's not ready yet. And so I thought that was interesting.
He is, okay, he's not the youngest of the group. That's Superboy.
Yeah.
But he is 13. By human standards, just by looking at them, he is the youngest of the group.
I did think it was funny when some of the Justice League members called out Batman for, like, child soldier.
Yeah. Okay, that's one of my favorite episodes of the season, is when all the Justice League members sit down and reckon with the fact that they have children, magical kidnappers, and Batman on the Justice League, and they're trying to add more members, and they're grappling like, well, how old is too old? Are we judging like physical age and maturity? Some of them are aliens, some of them are clones. You kidnapped a dad. You're a kid.
You're a helmet.
You're a helmet.
Puppeting a human being.
Yeah, like, you know, like, where do we place our morals? Should we kick the kid out? He's a god. Like, anytime the Justice League sits down and just does politics, like interleague politics, I find that so fascinating because I feel like no other DC universe material gets into that nearly as much.
Yeah.
Just like the mechanics of living in a world with superheroes and like trying to like exist on a day-to-day. Some governments are run by superpowered beings with like different needs and wants. Some heroes are sanctioned by your government. Some heroes are not, and they're coming into your land.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone wants like superpowered tech or like, you know, hiring supervillains as mercenaries. Like it's so fascinating to me.
There's all these implicit compromises in terms of like ethics broadly. There's all these like implicit ethical compromises in these kinds of worlds. And like you said, they're not always interrogated. And you not only see them interrogated a little bit more in Young Justice, but you also see why they don't interrogate them as much because they don't have any good answers for the questions that are raised. And they're like, well, I guess we'll just keep going.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, well, it's a little broken. But if it ain't too broken, don't fix it.
Yeah. That kind of like brings me also to another aspect of Robin's character that I thought was like kind of funny, but also just makes sense in this world, which is like Batman is like, okay, you can join this team, but no one can know your secret identity.
Mm-hmm.
And so Robin wears these like tiny glasses.
The smallest little glass.
I
I think you sent us a message about that.
I couldn't keep the thought in my head. I just kept laughing anytime. I just like couldn't take him seriously.
got the tiny glasses.
This part of it is like, okay, you're like hiding your secret identity. I mean, it's like in the Teen Titans episode when we talked about like Robin pretends to be Red X for a bit, but then like when Red X takes off his mask, he still has the Robin mask on because
Yeah.
he just like is Robin constantly. So it reminded me of that, but then I was also just like, are these glasses like really hiding your identity that much?
It's also like they're not tiny little circles, which would
They're
also
like
be funny. They're these tiny, thin little triangles because it's cool.
I am almost 100% certain that's a direct result of the Teen Titans show because audiences recognize Robin
with
when
like
his eyes are
pointy
like
eyes.
that.
Yeah.
When he's got the mask. And
That's
so they're
fair.
not
He
gonna...
would look different with round or like square glasses.
Yeah.
But
it
it's just so funny to me.
It just became a key part of his like character and silhouette that he never takes off the mask. Even
Yeah.
when it's off, he never takes off the mask.
Yeah, but it did make me think about like how my previous experience with teams are all from Marvel. So like X-Men and Avengers. And in those teams, like everyone knows everyone's secret identities.
Mm-hmm.
When they're off duty, they're like fully out of costume, like no masks or anything. And so I thought it was interesting how in the Justice League, they do maintain like a respect for each hero and how they want to maintain their own privacy in terms of like, we don't have to know. Some of us do know, but we won't say anything about it. We'll hunt you down if you do anything bad,
Mhm.
but you're entitled to like your own personal name and likeness being kept secret even from your allies.
Yeah. Young Justice does something really fascinating that I don't think anyone thought to do before, which is make Batman a good dad and Superman a bad dad, which
yeah.
I love that dynamic. Batman's like, we need to treat our children with respect, but also restraint.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, I don't want to talk to my son. He looks like me. What do I do with that?
Yeah.
I kind of even think that that's more interesting in a way,
Mhm.
specifically, just because, well, Superman, you know, he's a paragon, but he's also just a guy.
Yeah.
He's doing his best, and he messes up and makes mistakes, and maybe he's not great at dealing with. And I'm not just saying this just because of the recent Superman movie that came out.
I mean, I was just going to say, like, I would have complicated feelings too if everyone's just always trying to clone me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
feel
also he's
like-
just a guy who was raised like on a farm.
Yeah.
You know, he's got like a good head on his shoulders, but he's, you know, if a son that you didn't know about, who was also your clone,
Yeah.
just like showed up one day.
Also designed to kill you and replace you.
Yeah. Pretty much anyone, I'm sure, would be like, it's not that I don't like him, but
It feels weird
feels
to like have a
weird.
relationship with someone who's like designed that way.
like
Mhm.
I'll, you know, if I run into him, I'll be like, hey, sport.
Yeah.
Well,
Doing
keep
good.
it up.
Yeah.
And also,
School's
his
good.
other clone dad is my arch enemy / occasional boyfriend, Lex Luthor.
Okay, so you know what's funny? After the recent Superman movie, everyone's talking about Superman online. So I was also like just looking up stuff about Superman. And the plot of the recent Superman movie is also about Lex Luthor creates a clone. So people were talking about Superboy. I literally read the words like, there is a character in the DC universe who is a clone of Superman, but also with Lex Luthor's DNA. So it's basically like their kid, which is so fun. And I forgot about it immediately after, not like immediately, but like it's like almost like that was wiped from my brain as soon as I started Young Justice, and I was like, oh, Superboy,
That's a different
that's
guy.
a different guy. Yeah. I definitely had that thought of like, oh, it's another Superman clone or whatever. And so when the reveal happened, it's like Lex Luthor shows up and he's like, guess who the human DNA was? It was me. Hello, son. And I was like, oh, yeah. I did read about, like, I did know about this before.
You know what's wild is in that scene when Lex Luthor's like, hello, son, I sort of start to see the resemblance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
that's-
yeah. Speaking of Superman being a bad dad, it's interesting to see Superboy really struggle with like, Superman is my dad and I'm his clone, but he doesn't really want anything to do with me. And then on the other hand, there's Lex Luthor, who's also kind of my dad, but also he's kind of like our enemy, so I probably shouldn't really talk to him. But I can't help but like be drawn to hearing what he has to say. And he also has these like cool patches that I got addicted to. So I want those. The patches that block his human DNA for a second.
Somehow,
Like however that works. And allows Superboy to have like the full amount of Superman's powers.
he goes full Kryptonian.
Yeah.
Flight,
So he can
laser
fly.
eyes,
Yeah.
other things
see
probably.
through things. Yeah. I do really like Superboy's character. And I think I am most interested to see where his character goes in future seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this season set a really great groundwork for all the pathways his character could go in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on some other Young Justice characters. What do you guys think of Kid Flash?
I remembered him more likable, and I think that's because I was remembering more of season 2 in a way.
Mm.
He's funnier when you're a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
Specifically, I remember the episode where he has to run that heart
Yeah.
for
That
a
episode?
transplant across
Yeah.
the country.
That's the episode when I started to like Kid Flash again.
Yeah.
Because when I
Yeah.
did my rewatch, I was like, oh, buddy, you gotta stop.
Yeah, because most of the time, otherwise, he's like hitting on McGann all the time.
He's just hitting on most women.
Yeah,
But he's
in
like
general.
super fixated on McGann. It's like McGann and Superboy start dating like episode
2
8 or something.
Like McGann sees Superboy and is like, hello.
Yeah. And then they start dating pretty soon in the season. And then everyone kind of discovers it slowly over the course of the season. But like they're pretty low key about it, mainly because McGann can speak to Superboy telepathically. So half the time, any like romantic conversation is said in their brains, which I guess is nice if you don't want PDA. But
It's great for the animators.
yeah,
No mouth flaps.
no mouth flaps.
Mm.
I just think like the idea of like Superboy and McGann like staring into space while actually like, having like a really like lovey-dovey conversation is funny to me.
In Superboy's defense, he does that a lot.
I know, yeah.
He just sits and like stares.
Yeah. My favorite, sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place, but my favorite was like when McGann is like baking and then, like Superboy like tries, he's sitting in front of the TV and he's watching TV static and then he's like, can I help? McGann like accidentally like throws like a bunch of like batter on him and then the next shot you see of him is him still sitting in front of the TV static but this time like covered in like cake dough, cake batter. It's so funny. That was what made me be like, he's Ushiwaka. Anyways, sorry, side note. Kid Flash is the last to figure it out.
Artemis has to tell him.
Artemis has to tell him on his birthday. He honestly like takes it pretty well, but if I'm really getting like meta into Kid Flash's head, I think he's in like the mindset of like, okay, like this is quote unquote like the most conventionally attractive girl in the group, so I'm gonna like have a crush on her and I'm not actually gonna like interrogate my actual feelings for another team member for whatever reason.
Artemis.
Yeah. I picked up on Artemis and Kid Flash like immediately. It's not subtle.
No.
Yeah.
No.
My opinion on Kid Flash was I thought he was funny sometimes and really annoying other times. And I just like, for the episode where he's like running with the heart, I just kind of like felt bad for him because I was like, oh, buddy, like you might learn a really hard lesson.
Really hard to lesson.
Yeah. But it was an important lesson. And luckily no one died, so it's okay, but cutting it close.
Kid Flash starts out in the same place as Sokka, but his character development takes so much longer. But his season 2 arc is very, very good. I don't remember all the elements of it, but he becomes a fan favorite in season 2.
Okay.
Like a top tier fan favorite.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. We'll leave it at that.
It's okay. It's not that I didn't like him. I was like, I get it. You're like, how old are you? Like 16. I thought it was funny that like he ate a lot of food.
Yeah, his metabolism.
Because he has to consume so many calories to maintain his fast running.
He's got a little snack pouch in his suit.
He's got a snack pouch in his suit, which reminded me of like Aang's like glider where he like dispense snacks. But also like all he wants for his birthday is like a giant feast.
Hey, that's a great
Which is
birthday
great.
present.
Oh, yeah.
Give me all the food.
But I think I still liked him because he just clearly cares so much about his team.
Mm-hmm.
And Oh man, the simulation episode when like they think that Artemis dies. Well, first of all, like McGann's like gut-wrenching scream like hit me. I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was like really confused for half that episode because I was like,
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Walk me through your thought process.
Okay.
of the simulation episode. At
So-
what point did you realize something was off?
So the episode starts and I was like, okay, they're on a mission. And then I was like, wait, this mission is like a lot more higher stakes than like I thought.
Well, back up a bit. Because when it starts, it's like, oh, UFO comes to Earth. The Justice League members fly out to deal with it. They are all atomized in the first like minute.
So here's the thing. That happened and that didn't really like raise red flags because I was like, they didn't really die. I thought they got transported.
Did you think it was weird how when they're briefing the Young Justice team, like, the entire Justice League is dead or like gone, that the kids were just staring at the screen and they're like, this is your mission to go deal with these aliens. And they were just like, okay.
Well, okay, I did think it was weird, but mainly because I was like, this feels so random for like the middle of the season that we're just like dropped into like this high stakes save the world mission. It took me way too long to realize it was a simulation, I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't think the Justice League members were dead.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Watching that as a kid, it took me until like the very last moment,
Yeah.
like right before I think the final bits of the team got atomized, where I was like, wait a minute. Something's wrong with Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, I was really confused when like Martian Manhunter shows up and he's like confused and I was like, okay, how is he here? What's going on?
Oh, this is such lazy writing.
Yeah. I mean, but it worked because it was like, I think I was like more just like taken aback with like, oh, like the previous episodes felt like everything made sense, like why they were doing that mission or like where it falls in the chronology of the season. But this one feels so jarring, but it's meant to be jarring because it's not real. Like it's not really happening.
Yeah.
And then the end of episode reveal.
Yeah.
Where, like, not only was it a simulation, but it was a simulation that specifically got out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when Artemis, quote unquote, died, McGann's emotions just overwhelmed the simulation, which is totally fair. I felt that. Like, her actress did a phenomenal job.
Oh, they're all
episode.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that episode, but like you said earlier, the episodes afterwards where they're all dealing with the trauma of going through that.
When
Incredible.
Black Canary has to do
Delicious.
therapy.
That's because of Young Justice. Whenever I see Black Canary in any medium, my
Yeah.
first thought is, oh, the therapist.
Yeah.
That's the therapist.
And all their different perspectives on their experience.
Yeah.
You sort of forget sometimes, but the fact that it's at the end of that simulation, Robin having taken over as default leader of the team, because Kid Flash, quote unquote, dies earlier in the simulation.
Or Aqualad.
Or Aqualad.
Aqualad sacrifices himself.
What a
Yes.
good guy.
And they're like in this alien ship, and then Robin tells McGann to basically like get out. And he's like, don't worry, we're going to find a way out. We just have to like set the charges or whatever, blow it up. And then after McGann's gone, he turns to Kid Flash and they just wordlessly nod to each other. And it's like, you remember, oh, these two are like, at this point, the most experienced members of like the superheroing team. They know that this is a no-win scenario.
Yeah.
And they're just going to like fight it out to the end. And then the fallout of that in that following episode is like, they both deal with it so differently, where Robin is like, I thought I wanted to be just like Batman, and I realized that this is way too much. I don't want to be just like Batman. I gotta like pump the brakes.
That was kind of like a huge moment for me where I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he really said that. Dang.
And then Kid Flash is like, yeah, that was messed up. I'm probably traumatized in some way, but I don't feel it, and I don't care.
Yeah. Without spoiling too much, take both of those reactions. Something happens at the beginning of season 2, and they have completely opposite. Their characters
Ooh.
have changed enough to where they have completely opposite reactions to when they had them in the simulator.
I'm excited.
Are we gonna do another episode of this, or is this gonna be like a
I think that'd be
recap?
I think it'd
thing?
be fun if we did a full season 2 talk about Young
Yeah.
Justice.
And then we can stop there because, okay, season 3 is not bad. It's just so much time has passed between 2 and 3 that you can tell it's a little different.
Yeah.
And also, I think they didn't have as much money for animation, so it's a
Mm.
little stiffer. Season 2, oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Season 2 deals a lot with, obviously, like some of the team betrays the other team, but also deals a lot with legacy
Mm.
of like the person that I represent now is no longer with us. and like either I didn't know them very well or I knew them really well, and how do I maintain that legacy for them? We get that a little bit of that in season 1.
Yeah.
With like Superboy and Superman. Like, I'm supposed to be that, but I can't fly. But oh, it's so good. I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
Hey, what are your thoughts on McGann and her episode against Simon Says?
Okay,
And
there's multiple of those.
Multiple of this.
Yeah.
Basically, her
and I
arc.
think that it's kind of, at a certain point, it's really great. The first one, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
telepath versus telepath. And we have this fun moment where she psychically connects with Superboy and he's like, you can do it.
Yeah.
And she takes out Simon and it's great. But there's like, I think like 2 more encounters.
They have a lot of psychic battles and they kind of get old.
Well, it's just kind of funny because every time it begins, Simon shows up having been absolutely broken by McGann psychically.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he's like, oh, hello, little girl. Oh, are you all alone? I'm going to... And she just like demolishes him again.
Yeah.
And then he'll show up a third time and he's like, oh, you know,
He's
Simon
persistent,
says...
I'll give you that.
Simon says, don't mess with my things. Oh, I'm going to trap you and... and just like...
I love your death screams, Michael. They're
Yeah.
always impeccable. I don't know if this is, I'm thinking of the right episode. The episode where they introduced Garfield, who becomes Beast Boy later.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Did you
Where-
pick up on that?
Where did he get? I was not paying attention.
So this isn't a crazy spoiler at all because they just kind of drop it in on you on
Yeah.
season 2. Remember his blood transfusion with Miss Martian?
Oh!
Wow. Y'all
That's
y'all
why he's
can't
green?
see because it's a podcast, but you should have seen the look on Victoria's face.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Open mouthed.
The crazy thing is, I was sitting here and I was like, there's no way that there aren't long-term consequences of this kid acquiring
Oh.
Miss Martian's blood.
There are long-term
Yeah,
consequences.
But I totally didn't make the connection with his name being Garfield.
His character arc between, because I know a little bit what happens in 3 and 4, his character arc is wild
Uh-huh.
and so deeply different than Teen Titans Garfield. In like
I
kind
was
of a good
looking
way,
it up too.
but also in a way of like, you're like, come on, man, just pull it together.
Yeah.
But in that episode, we learn about Miss Martian's true backstory.
Yeah.
She's not related to John Jones. She is a white Martian, which is a different species of Martian. And she's
They're like
experienced
the minority on Mars.
Yeah. And so she's experienced like heavy discrimination her whole life. And so she doesn't see herself as a white Martian. She sees herself as Megan.
Yeah.
There's implications. She sees herself as human.
Mm-hmm.
She really wants to be human. And so like that episode is so fascinating to me because it raises so many questions of like, should you embrace who you really are, quote unquote? Or like, if you really do see yourself as this new identity, that should be respected too.
Yeah.
Right? The show does a great job in like, it lets her make all of the, well, she sort of gets outed a little bit, but like the main
Ultimately,
reveal at
when
the
she
end-
reveals to her team, she does make that decision, even though it is slightly under pressure.
But it's like, because there's no real world equivalent, not truly.
Mhm.
There's not a second species of human that we can turn into or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thoughts?
Well, first of all, like I loved how they dropped like a hint of it in an earlier episode where she's watching that show.
Mhm.
And at first you're like, what the heck? But then like Black Canary comes in to talk to her about transforming into Black Canary
and making out with
and
Super.
making out with Superboy.
I thought that was a fascinating world building detail where it's like on Mars, everyone can telepathically know who each other is.
Yeah.
And like everyone transforms all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just a game to like transform into different like people and like just joke around.
Yeah, but Black Canary was so freaked out, and I was so freaked
Yeah.
out. I
Yeah.
literally was like, we're lingering on the shot for too long.
That's where you cut to the title sequence?
Yeah.
I need more context.
I know suddenly you're like, uh-oh,
No, I
uh-oh,
was also
uh-oh.
because I was also thinking about an earlier episode where they infiltrate the prison as siblings, and then they end up
they disguise themselves as siblings
As twins.
and then as twins, and then they get separated, and one of them thinks the other's died, and so they when they reunite, they can't help themselves but kiss. And there's an ice villain just standing there going, "Oh, that's your sister! No, 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 no!"
Sorry, back to Hello Megan. She has her catchphrase, which is like, Hello Megan, that she says all the time. And then you see her like watch a clip of this show.
That was really good.
Thank you. And then you see her watch a clip of this show and you're like, what is that? Like, that wasn't her. Like, it's clearly like some kind of TV show. Then when it's revealed, like, they meet the lady who played Megan in this TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, like Megan based her entire look and like kind of personality on this character that you played in a TV show. And it's so fascinating to me. And honestly, to me, like, I mean, I think it makes sense because like they probably didn't feel like it was their place. But I would just like, I feel like they needed to like kind of talk to her more about that afterwards. Like they kind of just dropped it afterwards. Like she explains like, I really wanted to fit in on Earth. And so I decided to like become Megan. And I really do feel like Megan. And then she like reveals her quote unquote true self.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you actually look like? And she just removes her hair. So she's just bald McGann, which I thought was kind of funny.
And all the other teen heroes are like, oh,
So like Martian Manhunter.
yeah.
I had looked it up that she was a white Martian and I found that out, but I didn't know specifically like where the persona of Megan came from. And I thought that was really interesting. But then I also felt like they didn't go deeper into it as maybe I would have liked. But I also understand maybe it's not the right time for it or like they're not the right people to be asking those questions or whatnot.
She does explore more of her white Martian identity as the seasons go on. And like her appearance slowly changes to visually represent that.
Okay.
And she like grows to like accept that more. To me, there's like a aspect of like, you know, you can choose your own identity.
Yeah.
There's also like this big element of like moving to a new place and thinking that your culture's not accepted.
Yeah.
Or like who you are is not accepted. And so you try to hide that, which I think is very relatable, especially for like an immigrant.
Yeah.
And so for that part, that was very powerful for me. But again, it's like turning into a different species. So there's no
Yeah.
one-to-one.
I think it's also like when I read like she's a white Martian, I think I expected like literally how she looked, but just like bright white skin.
Yeah.
And then instead it was like, oh, she's actually like kind of quote unquote like monstrous looking. And I was like, I understand why you might feel like people can't accept that.
I
look like a Zergling from StarCraft.
What I love about that scene, though, is you can see all the humans go, whoa,
And then all the aliens are just like,
all the aliens. And then Aqualad just standing there like,
yeah.
oh, cool.
Yeah. And then the fact that Superboy like goes up to hold her hand and is like, I knew this whole time. I was like, hell yeah, Superboy.
Superboy.
But it's also just like her hand is just like 3 big fingers. So he
Yeah.
just like grabs her finger.
Yeah.
But I thought it was
I think.
sweet. I was
No,
like,
yeah.
he fully like he's like, you can look or act like however you want, but I love you as
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's especially like, who are you to talk, Superboy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a half alien 1-year-old clone. I love where they take these characters
Yeah.
in like such different places. Part of the reason why the jump between season 2 and 3 is hard for me is because they treat the progression of the characters naturally. And so people leave the team or they die or they retire or like they join a different team. And so the team is like this living, breathing organism
Yeah.
that like changes pretty rapidly over the course of these 4 seasons. And so the characters that you spend the most amount of time with change dramatically.
Yeah.
And so when I went into season 3, it's a whole new roster. Mostly.
That is hard. Even like near the end of season 1 when they started like when they added Rocket, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like there's another character. This feels so sudden to just like have this other character join. But even though like I'm not as invested or as attached to the characters in season 1, I can see that there's so much potential that I'm excited to watch more to learn about them. We got to talk about Aqualad. I feel like we're not talking about
Yeah.
Aqualad enough.
Aqualad was actually created for this show.
Oh.
There have been Aquaman sidekicks. I think like Tula and other guy, what's his name? Garth? They existed, I think, already. But Aqualad, they just wanted a cool Aquaman person. I guess they didn't have like a personality type
Yeah.
character already existing. But Aqualad is so popular that he became a real DC Comics character.
Oh, nice.
And they sort of just integrated him into the wider DC universe. So he just starts showing up in like animated DC movies all over the place.
It reminds me of how X-23 was actually created for X-Men Evolution, and then people loved her so much that they were like, we're going to keep putting her in stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, parallel. I think he's pretty neat.
I mean, he has like the least amount of character conflict, at least like internally.
It's very
Because he's-
subdued.
Yeah, because he's got to be like the strong, reliable leader. There's never a question if he's the mole or anything like that. Like, so he's like reliable. He struggles a little bit at the beginning, just trying to like be a leader. Because initially, like when the team gets together some people want to be leader, other people don't want those people to be leader, and so they end up voting for Aqualad to be leader. Like, it's very clear in that episode, like, Aqualad should be the leader.
Yeah.
But I really liked his episode where he's kind of feeling conflicted about staying on Earth or going back to Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
Atlantis is on Earth. I meant like
It's on Earth, but it might as well be in a different place.
And at first, he's basically decided to go back to Atlantis because he misses Tula and just misses like being part of that society. And then he gets back and it's like, Tula's moved on. Sorry, man. He realizes he's needed much more on the surface. But I did feel bad for him.
Yeah, they didn't explore it too much in that episode, but it did read a lot about like, again, like immigrating to a new place and then coming back and realizing it's moved on without you.
Yeah.
Represented by Tula. But also, he's a very lonely character.
Mm.
It's true. Yeah. Being the leader is very lonely. Like, even when he finds out there might be a mole, he feels like he has to deal with that by himself.
Yeah. He assimilates well into service world culture, but he never quite like loves it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's incredibly self-sacrificing, which is good for a leader, but also really bad for a leader because at a certain point, like the leader needs to stay alive.
Yeah.
And he grapples with that a lot, which I think makes him a very interesting character and interesting in season 2.
I remember some details.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going places,
Season 2
baby.
Calderon. He has a bad time. They all have a bad time.
Oh, no.
But that's season 2.
Yeah.
They have to have a bad time in season 2. And
And
every
then-
show.
And then in season 3, maybe.
I honestly don't remember what he's up to in season 3.
Well, I'm just thinking
I
of
was
like,
I mean,
I'm
I
also
already
just thinking of what I read
anticipated,
about.
since you said that, like, people leave and join the team or whatnot. Like, I was thinking, like, he's probably, in my mind, sort of like the first candidate for people who are most likely to leave the team first.
Mm.
In terms of, like, I could see him at a certain point. It's not that he outgrows the team. I actually think that the team might outgrow needing him as a leader. So I think then he would maybe be freed up to do more of his own thing.
He
or
is the
whatnot.
only character to have a whole episode dedicated to should I stay on the team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone else really wants to be on the team and
Yeah.
struggle with that. He's like, I'm not so sure.
And I was definitely starting to get a sense of Robin being more capable as a leader in later episodes. There's actually a handful of episodes where, like, I'd be like, where's Aqualad? Why is he in this episode?
Sometimes they got to remove a character because they're
Yeah.
busy, and sometimes it's to make the plot better, I think.
Yeah, sometimes there's no explanation for why only certain characters are on the mission or whatnot. You just kind of accept, like, they're doing other stuff. But there were definitely moments where I was like, Aqualad wasn't in this mission, but I didn't miss his presence as much this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's sort of like the rock of the team,
Yeah.
but you don't notice what you're standing on often.
When I was a kid, I think I liked him the most because he was the most sensible and he was always responsible and keeping the team cohesive and everything. And then season 2 is interesting. On this rewatch, I was like, I found myself enjoying McGann and Superboy more. And then Artemis, I suppose, and to a certain extent, Robin, though I didn't expect that. And Aqualad wasn't my, like, full-on, like, oh, yeah, my favorite. Kind of like how when I was a kid, I was like, I like Leonardo, the Ninja Turtle, because he's got the blue mask and he's got it all under control.
Yeah.
But on my rewatch, I was like, oh, I really like Raphael.
Well, maybe as a kid you craved stability and control, but as an adult you crave good character arcs.
Okay, Black Canary. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
When
Now-
the podcast becomes therapy, no. I'm kidding.
But as an adult, I can also appreciate the skill in writing that it took to make Aqualad's character still so good. Because even though he's not as swingy as a number of these other characters in terms of attributes or perspectives, hot takes and whatnot, even though everything is subdued, it's still very well written, and he's always like a very discerning character. And so there's a lot to enjoy just in terms of how he like operates. His perspectives are like very well thought out, and he still struggles dealing with difficult situations that anyone would deal with, but you can see how capable he is. And so it feels like you're really getting the best possible, like, you know, run at a situation because you know how capable he is with that.
Also, Aqualad fun fact to bounce off your very excellent character analysis. He's voiced by Carrie Payton, Cyborg.
Oh.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. The performances are so different. I had no idea.
He's really good. He's like understated in a way that feels like really dynamic. And I'm excited for Victoria to learn more about him. In season 2.
Yay!
I keep saying that. Aquila has the biggest change between seasons of all of them, I think.
Okay. I'm so curious what I will think.
Yes. I quickly want to highlight Zatanna.
Yeah.
Zatanna is there more than I remembered. And her arc, which is smaller than all the other characters, but it's basically my dad was kidnapped by a helmet, is far more devastating to watch as an adult.
I felt really, really bad for her.
It makes you really hate Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Like, who does this guy think he is?
I mean, it's just hard seeing her, like, she's just going through her typical, like, teenage phase of feeling like, like, I wish that my dad would trust me more, like, let me do more things, give me more responsibility, let me join the team. And she's just kind of, like, wrestling with that tension of growing up and feeling like, my parent is kind of holding me back. And then the second she has that thought, she's separated from him.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of my favorite episodes because I thought the concept of like splitting the world into 2 universes, one that only has kids and one that doesn't, was so fascinating. And the fact that Captain Marvel can travel between both was so fun.
Yeah.
And I love that's like how his identity is revealed. He's like, well, I wanted to keep this a secret, but I got to do this now. Yeah.
I'm Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. I was so confused because my only knowledge of that character is like the Shazam movie that Zachary Levi was in. So I thought that was his like hero name. I was like, why is he called Captain Marvel? And I was like, oh, right, because politics.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Anyways, love that episode. But then, like as a result of trying to save the world and reunite the universes, at first Zatanna puts on the helmet. And then because fate won't release her, her dad takes her place because he's like, I'm a better candidate anyways. Please let my daughter live her life. It just sucks so bad.
It does.
And then she's so sad. And then like one of the following episodes, it's like McGann's like cooking a Thanksgiving meal for the team. And Zatanna's just sad because she's like, this is my first Thanksgiving without my dad.
Yeah.
It just hits hard. Yeah.
It does. They use Dr. Fate a lot throughout the season. More than I remember, again. And the fact that Wally just keeps him on a shelf as kind of like a nuclear bomb.
So I'm going to be honest. I got like a little bit tired of Dr. Fate halfway through because I was just kind of like, I get it. He's like super powerful and we just like bring out the helmet whenever like we're facing a problem that like feels too difficult for us to solve. So we're going to like risk it all.
I think they do it one too many times.
Yeah. I think it's like the first time they did it, I was like, okay, like we're like taking a risk here. And then the second time they did it, I was like, okay, this is a risk, but I guess they also made it through that. So I guess they can just keep doing it. And then the third time I was like, no, they really can't keep doing this. It's over now.
The old man advocating for you, I sent him away. He's at the farm now.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
I mean, I guess like it does make sense in terms of storytelling, which is like the
Rule of 3?
Rule of 3, yeah. Where it's like they did it twice and then you get lured into a false sense of security of like, it's fine if she puts on the helmet. They'll get out of this. And you're like, oh no, they really didn't. But it just felt like, at least for me, like storytelling wise, this is like the level to which like sometimes superhero movies kind of lose me because it just feels so convenient and like overpowered to be like, this is the one guy that can fix everything.
It is
Ankh symbol.
Young Justice is really great. I think it's really great, but it is not perfect. Even if you look at it, like not even removing yourself from the time period, like looking at it as it came out in 2010.
Yeah,
like the whole arc about the Xenomorphs, where like the Xenomorphs are an enslaved people.
Yeah.
They were created to work and then they were freed from that and then made to do other work.
Yeah.
And then they try to liberate themselves and then they fail, and then that's the last we hear of them.
Yeah, I was also thinking that too, where I was like,
Yeah.
oof, like the message is they were fighting for their freedom and they got shut down.
And like their leader was too empathetic, I guess, which is like, that was the one episode I was like, I wish to see another resolution to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Because like they're just gone. I don't know if we see them again in season 2.
I don't know.
I think they might just be like kind of swept under the rug, literally.
Yeah.
They just melted them all down.
Yeah. It's a product of its time. I would say maybe a little ahead of its time in some ways, and of course, of its time
Yeah.
in other ways.
I think so too.
But I think it is influential on superhero media, specifically DC media, the same way that like Last Airbender was influential on animation in general.
Mm.
And that like a lot of the characters and tropes and storylines that were explored and became popular in Young Justice were then referenced or like more favorably highlighted in later like DC animated media. Just like Young Justice was inspired heavily by Teen Titans in some aspects.
Yeah.
Like there is at a certain point a push to like reunite the Teen Titans sort of in Young Justice.
Huh.
I don't think they get all 5 of them there, but we do start seeing more. Like I think Cyborg shows up in some capacity at some point. Robin's already there. Beast Boy shows up. I don't know about Raven. Starfire, I don't think shows up
Dang it.
either.
I'm not watching it anymore. No, I'm kidding. There's just so many characters.
There's so many characters.
There's too many characters.
Well,
to...
since I clarified my like favorite character as a kid, Jino,
Hello.
who do you think Victoria's favorite kid? No, I'm kidding. Who was your favorite character as a kid?
As a kid,
And then now, of
Yeah.
course.
I think Aqualad as a kid.
Mm.
Probably for much of the same reason
Do
as
you think it was because you were craving stability and
Yeah. Yeah. I speak from myself. I speak from my own truth. I really like Robin now. I like that he's goofy. I like his funny laugh and I like his puns. But also I like that
Everyone stay whelmed.
everyone stay whelmed. But he's also like one of the more like actually introspective characters.
Yeah.
Like he wants to understand himself and he wants to use that to make himself better for the team. Whereas a lot of the other characters are still very like teenage mindset or like kid mindset of like, everything's fine. I have superpowers. I'm going to eat food or turn into Black Canary. Like, you know, they're not like, or Robin, who is like one of the younger heroes, is still like, I need to take myself seriously and like protect myself mentally, I guess.
Yeah.
And I really respect that. Again, also, I like his funny laugh. Hee hee hoo hoo ha 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 ha.
I actually agree with that. I think, honestly, if I'm like really thinking about it, I think Aqualad right now is my favorite character, mainly because he
you
has
crave stability.
Michael, we all crave stability in these trying times.
Yeah.
These unprecedented times.
Oh my gosh.
Now I feel like Simon says,
No, but it is really because like he feels the most relatable to me as an adult. He's emotionally reflective and carries like a lot of responsibility on his shoulders and whatnot. And I would say probably like now that you mention it, I do think Robin maybe is like my second favorite, if only because I was really surprised by how reflective he was, especially after like certain moments where he felt like he didn't like do as good of a job, or like just reflecting on like what he wants as a hero and in his life. I thought was really interesting. I don't know, like Zatanna, I really felt for her, but we still don't really know that much about her, I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
I will say, out of all of the canon couples they established, I think Robin and Zatanna are my favorite.
oh, I was like, it felt sudden and forced at the end for me.
it did feel that way for me as well. However, the writing is so good that whenever characters converse at all, it just like registers as... The writing is really good in this show, considering it's just like a pile of superheroes.
Yeah, they all
just...
kind of fights and
I
smash
think
together.
it's just like by the time Zatanna showed up, I was unfortunately just a little bit tired of like, girl appears,
Pair off.
immediate love interest. Like I was like, oh my gosh,
It's very 2010s.
yeah. And then like Rocket shows up at the very end and it's like, okay, she's going to be paired with Aqualad because he's the only
Because of
remaining
course,
male. Okay.
Unless.
I don't know. I was like, sure, I guess. But I'm sure that my mind could be changed. Also, I'm coming off of Teen Titans right now, so I'm still like Robin and Starfire over here.
Well, there are multiple Robins, and
That's true.
we begin to get a cavalcade of Robins,
Oh, gosh.
a flock of Robins, so to speak.
And a small cavalcade of Flashes.
A small cavalcade of Flashes. Not all the Robins make it.
Oh, no.
But we knew this.
Yeah. My only knowledge of like Flash was from like the CW show Flash, which I actually didn't watch that much of, but like I watched like 1 or 2 episodes. But then I watched like maybe 1 season of Supergirl when it was on CW, which I know Supergirl in that show is very different from who she is in the comics. But like Flash shows up briefly in Supergirl. So I was like, I thought it was fun that like there's just like a family of Flashes.
There's a lot of Flashes.
Yeah. And then like Iris is there. And she knows about all of this. And yeah.
The only things I know about Flash, in Young Justice, it's very much about the Flash family.
Yeah.
That becomes a very central thing. But Flash as a hero, his whole thing is that he's nice. He wants to help his villains. Like in most Batman media, Batman's like, into the asylum! Oh, criminal! But Flash is like, let's talk about it. Like, why are you acting like this? Like, I don't want to hurt you. Like, let's...
Yeah.
Like, reduce your charges and try to find you, like, a mental health solution.
And then Reverse Flash says some of the most heinous things you've ever heard.
Reverse Flash is like, I'm going to turn you inside out and everyone's going to watch or something like that. So, Flash
Wait, is Reverse Flash a real thing?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if it was a bit.
It sounds like a bit. Honestly, he's so like cartoonishly evil. He might as well be a bit.
I read him described as like the ultimate hater.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Reverse Flash's whole goal is to make Flash's life miserable, which sucks because Flash is such a nice guy.
Dang.
His rogues gallery have a pact not to kill Flash because they know they have the best deal. Because Flash is nice and he's not going to hurt them. And so they do, quote, crimes. But when Flash shows up, they're like, you got me, boss. Because they know that if they kill Flash, then Batman might show up. And that's bad.
That's fair.
A weird villains Geneva Convention.
Basically.
I will say, in certain episodes of Nostalgia Club where we talk about like, potential ships, I feel very laissez-faire about it. If I'm using that word correct, I'm like, it's fun and games. And Victoria, you're like, well, no, you do have to understand. Some people get really intense about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's cartoon characters, made up fiction. But I actually really care about the Artemis and Wally West.
I like their dynamic the best so far.
Yeah.
Like,
they
when
have the
I
most
was a
room to grow.
teenager,
Mm-hmm.
when I was a teenager, I was like, I really like these two.
Everything's fine. I'm giving Victoria a big thumbs up.
Oh, no. Now I'm scared.
No, they're fine. Everyone's fine.
Okay.
And they all make it.
Mm-hmm.
Any final Young Justice thoughts? I know there's a million things in this season to cover. We're not going to talk about them all, unfortunately. But we'll be back probably with a second episode for season 2.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any other thoughts besides I'm excited to see where these characters go. I'm sure it will not be all fun and games. And I'm sure things will be sad.
But it will be thrilling.
But I'm ready for the angst.
Yes. The angst.
Here's the thing about Nostalgia Club is like sometimes like we really want to cover something, but we're like, how do we like get the full impression of this series if you only watch a couple episodes? So then you feel like you have to watch like the full season.
Yeah.
And I definitely like I'm really glad that we watched a full season of Young Justice because I think that if we had just like watched a couple episodes, I probably would have been like, it's fine.
Yeah.
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 But you need the investment.
We need
longer seasons of television.
Yes.
Bring it back.
Some things when you see the whole picture, it like makes more sense.
Mm.
Like Madagascar.
Like Madagascar. Hey, check out our Madagascar episode. And while you're at it, why don't you give us a rating on your podcast platform of choice? A good rating, please. It really helps us out. You can also contact us at nostalgicalpodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram at nostalgicalpodcast. We are also under MouseKnight Studios, and you should listen to Ghost Inspectors because it's really good and Victoria made it. We also have a Ko-fi if you want to support us financially, and if you want to support us emotionally, we have a Ko-fi.
Also, feel free to share your thoughts on this episode if you're like, I also really like Aqualad. We'd like to hear it.
And until next time.
Stay whelmed.
Or else.
I laughed every single time that Robin freaking said
It's good.
anything about being whelmed. But the one time that Superboy said it actually took me out. Like, it was so funny.
I did enjoy how at a certain point, it's not just Robin being like I just got a weird perspective. I got
Yeah.
a funny perspective on stuff. It's like it becomes an inside joke for everyone.
Yeah.
So you reach a point late in the season where someone says with, I think, like,
I'm feeling the Aster.
I'm feeling the Aster, and like
Yeah.
I think Rocket's present or something, and she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's good writing.
Yeah, there was one time where Robin also said get trot instead of distraught.
Yeah, that's
I was
good.
like, what does that even mean? It's great.
The opposite of distraught is trot.
Yeah.
So you're good. You're all good.
There's a lot of good tongue-in-cheek lines. Anyways, on that note, stay whelmed. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I thought we had ended the episode.